You know that moment when you look at a situation and think, there's no way. Your marriage falling apart, that debt that never seems to shrink, the dream that feels miles away, and then you settle because that's just how it is. But what if I told you there's a neurological difference, something that happens in your brain, between people who make the impossible happen and those who give up? In the next few minutes, you'll discover how your mind can be your greatest limitation or your most powerful tool. Maria, 35 years old, always wanted to start her own business. Every time she thought about it, I don't have enough money, I don't know the right people, the market's too tough. Sound familiar? Here's what neuroscientists discovered. Our brain is a pattern machine. 95% of today's thoughts are identical to yesterday's. Maria wasn't being realistic. She was being repetitive. You know what happened when she stopped asking, why isn't this possible, and started asking, what would it take? In 8 months, she had 3 employees. The difference wasn't luck. It was a question. Your mind operates like an invisible algorithm: challenging situation, analysis of limitations, focus on what could go wrong, paralysis. It's an automatic loop you don't even realize you're running. But every limitation is, in truth, programming. And every program can be rewritten. When Jesus said, "All things are possible to him who believes," he wasn't being poetic. He was revealing something about how reality works. Today, we know, when you focus intensely on something, your brain literally changes. New connections form. It's called neuroplasticity, your ability to rewire yourself. Think about Peter. He saw Jesus walking on water and said, "Let me try." He didn't calculate the odds, didn't make a backup plan, simply focused on the impossible, and it happened. Until the moment he looked at the storm. Same person, same faith, different result. Why? Because he shifted his focus. Your mind can't tell the difference between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. That's why visualization works. That's why faith transforms. The impossible isn't a matter of external capacity. It's a matter of internal direction. Where you place your attention determines where you place your energy. And where you place your energy determines your reality. I'm going to give you a test. For 30 days, every time you think this is impossible, replace it with this is unlikely, but possible. Sounds simple? It is. Does it work? Absolutely. John had been unemployed for 6 months. Every morning he'd wake up thinking, I'll never get a job at my age. On day 12 of the test, an opportunity appeared. Why? Because when you change the internal question, you change the external action. Instead of protecting himself from rejection, he started looking for opportunities. It wasn't magic. It was a mental algorithm shift. Old algorithm, problem, analysis of what could go wrong, paralysis. New algorithm, problem, analysis of what's possible, action. Same person, same situation. Completely different result. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions, and you get to choose what questions to ask, starting right now. Have you ever noticed? The greatest miracles happen in the most difficult moments. Peter didn't walk on a calm lake on a sunny day. It was in the middle of a storm, at dawn, with giant waves. Why? Because without pressure, there's no transformation. Think about your most challenging situation right now. The one that keeps you up at night worried. What if it wasn't an obstacle? What if it was exactly the necessary condition for you to discover capabilities you never knew you had? Anna was going bankrupt. Husband had lost his job, 2 small children, house in foreclosure. Impossible didn't even cover it. But it was exactly there that she discovered a capacity for leadership and creativity she never knew existed. Today, she runs a company with 15 employees. Your storm isn't preventing your miracle. It's the recipe for it. The impossible doesn't happen despite adversity. It happens because of it. Pressure doesn't break you. It reveals who you really are. If this content is touching something in you, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. There are more truths waiting. Here's what separates those who keep dreaming from those who achieve. One ridiculously small first step. Peter didn't leap from the boat. He put one foot out. Want to change careers? Don't quit tomorrow. Update your resume today. Want to save your marriage? Don't plan a second honeymoon. Send a loving text right now. Want to start a business? Don't write a 50-page plan. Talk to a potential customer this week. Why does this work? Because your brain is driven by momentum, not magnitude. When you act, even minimally, toward the impossible, your mind interprets. This person does impossible things. And it starts looking for evidence to confirm that. Result? More opportunities, more ideas, more synchronicities. It's not luck. It's mental programming. Movement creates momentum. Momentum breaks limitations. And broken limitations release possibilities. There's one thing people who do the impossible have in common. They eliminate plan B. Not because they're brave, because they understand how the human mind works. When you have an escape route, part of your brain stays relaxed. If this doesn't work out, I can always go back to the safe job. And that relaxation sabotages your performance. Carlos wanted to be a musician for 20 years, always kept his bank job just until music works out. Result? 20 years of music as a hobby. The day he got laid off, without planning it. Within 6 months, he was making a living from music. Not because he got more talented, because he got more committed. Burning bridges isn't madness, it's mental clarity. When your only option is to succeed, your brain mobilizes resources that normally stay stored for emergencies. Resources you didn't even know you had. Total commitment is the difference between trying and succeeding. Peter walked on water while looking at Jesus. He sank when he looked at the waves. Same person, same power, different result. The difference? Direction of gaze. What you consistently contemplate becomes your dominant reality. This isn't philosophy, it's neurology. If you spend your day thinking about how the bills don't add up, your brain becomes an expert at finding financial problems. If you spend your day imagining what success would look like, your brain becomes an expert at finding opportunities. Practical test. For 1 week, 5 minutes every morning, close your eyes and see yourself living the situation you call impossible, with details, with emotion. This isn't positive thinking, it's mental training. Athletes have done this for decades. Successful executives do this. People who turn impossible into inevitable do this. Why wouldn't you? You become what you consistently contemplate. The question is, what have you been contemplating? Let me tell you a truth. The impossible isn't rare. It's routine. Every day, someone is doing something others consider impossible. Healing destroyed relationships, building companies from scratch, overcoming medical diagnoses, starting over at 50. The difference between them and those who keep dreaming isn't special talent. It's a simple decision. Stop calculating the odds and start creating the conditions. You have everything you need to begin. You have a mind that can be reprogrammed. You have challenging situations that are fuel for transformation. You have capabilities that only reveal themselves when you leave your comfort zone. The question isn't, will I make it? The question is, when will I start? Because the impossible isn't waiting for you to get ready. It's waiting for you to take the first step. And that step can be now. Faith isn't the absence of fear. It's action despite it. It's movement when everything inside you wants to stay still. It's that first foot out of the boat, when the waves are still high. Before you finish this video, choose one thing you consider impossible in your life right now. Just one. For 30 days, every morning, spend 5 minutes imagining what it would be like if it were possible. And every day, take one step, however small, in that direction. You don't need giant faith. You need small, consistent action. In 30 days, come back here and tell me what happened. Because I already know, what you call impossible today will be your new reality. If you made it this far, leave a comment telling me what your impossible is. Subscribe to the channel for more content that transforms, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. The first step is waiting. Will you take it?